All right, welcome back. This is MDawg. We are going to get another episode here into our leveling series, and I think I am, now that I'm back at work, my schedule is sort of settling into, I just don't have as much time available. I think I am more and more comfortable with just realizing that even though there's still plenty of time left, we're not going to sweat the New Year's challenges. If there's a spot where some of those possible fish are available, we'll look into it, but I'm just not going to sweat it. Right now, I just want to go to sorry, I was looking at this spot, seeing what they were fishing with, so just large hooks and night crawlers. I think I just want to go to the Crucian Gibble spot, see if we just get maybe a couple of cafe orders done, just kind of fish through the night, try to make some silver here at Mosquito. And then we might go try to fish for some bleak at Winding. There's a spot that somebody posted that I've actually never tried before. It's right near spawn, so it'll be a convenient place. Before we throw stuff in though, I've talked about this site before. It's this rf4-stat or en.rf4. Here, I can pull it up real quick so you can see it. This site, the en.rf4-stat.ru. Sorry, it's a mouthful. I'm gonna click on Mosquito. We're gonna go to parameters, and I'm gonna put a sampling of the past 3 days, and then we're gonna click on Crucian. We'll just pick Crucian, see what the top baits are. So worm, bread, sweet dough, semolina. Just looking at some of the top sweet dough, semolina. So let's actually try once it gets overnight. I probably move off of worm, but for now let's keep worm on there, and we want to go back to pretty big hook sizes, and we'll do worm on the biggest hook size because I think that one will have the best bite rate. All right, so let me just double check. Yeah, people still using 7 clip on this spot, which this is a very well-known spot. I think we've fished here multiple times in this series already. This spot is almost always active, if not always active. I mean, it really is typically active. All right, so semolina or sweet dough. Let's say sweet dough is going to be the next one. Now, if these are not a good bite rate, if we just see it's like way slow, either one of these, then we'll switch it. You really can't go wrong with just bread and worms in this spot. So in some ways, I'm probably overthinking it by putting these other baits on there. All right, so we've got that set up. This is a good opportunity for us to think about, so we can get feed at Winding if we want to level up ground bait just a little bit. But right now we should focus on leveling up bait harvesting if we want to work on something. So let's do that. I like that we're getting bites on all 3 baits right now. That seems to me to be a good sign. First one actually was sweet dough. Is that a roach? Not what I was expecting. 10 types of fish on feeder using any dough bait. Oh, weird. Okay. We haven't done that, I guess. We are on Paternoster, by the way. So second bait to work was the worm. Little Crucian. And not far behind was semolina. So all 3 baits really almost the same exact time working. And surprisingly enough, semolina is the one that caught the non-Crucian. And this is really about, yes, we'd love to make silver. Be nice to hit a cafe order or something, but this is also just about leveling up our bottom fishing. We are oh so close to 35%, where if we wanted to start playing with boilies and seeing if we could, like in this spot in particular, there's really nice crucian gibbles caught on boilies, so we could experiment with that some if we wanted to. All right, there's a crucian. The only downside of these fish so far is, other than the roach, they are all definitely undersized. So let's double check. See time on any of these. Yeah, so like this one, the next one we catch, we need to go ahead and turn that one in. 44, 141. So this roach order is getting close. We're not going to make that one. Just, there doesn't seem to be that many gibble in this spot. But some interesting orders. We actually aren't going to fill very many of them, truth be known. There's another undersized crucian, so let's just go ahead and turn that order in. Hopefully as the nighttime gets closer, the marker percentage will go up on all of these crucians. All right, so we need 5 of these for only 8 silver, but they are, you know, less than marker size, so they would have been worth pretty much nothing. .2% bottom fishing. So the good size ones are starting to come in now. All right, let's look at baits, because I was thinking about what we might want to make. Sorry, one of my kids is doing intense communication while I'm not intense, but just frequent. All right, so we don't have much oatmeal. I don't know how far back that is. It might not be worth making too much of that. Sweet dough we could definitely make some more of. And what we're actually supposed to be making is semolina. So maybe make a little bit of couple oatmeal, couple of sweet dough, maybe 3 or 4 sweet dough, and then just hit semolina till we get to 35%, which won't be long. We actually won't need to make much of any of it. I think once it really is nighttime, I probably will switch the worms to bread. And then we'll have 3 bread and 2 doughy baits on for this spot. That's a pretty decent one. No, it's not. I guess the friction brake was just a little low. You love seeing those red worms come through. All right, so let's check out definitely not that, not gibbles yet, possibly not at all. That might be the end. Oh, we did have, how much are those rough worth? Oh, it's so easy, 15 silver. Trying to think about that last spot we did rough fishing at. Oh yeah, it was on the other side. It's kind of way out there, but the rough are worth pretty good silver. Maybe that's what we do. Is that cafe order enough to get us doing rough instead of crucian gibble and all that? That's a big gibble. Really big gibble. That was on the sweet dough. Alright, let's try switching this one to bread now. Still not sure about semolina, although that one did give us points. We're up to 34.3. All right, so let's make oatmeal first. We need, let's just get 2 packs of oatmeal. I mean, oatmeal is not a bait that you need. It will show up every once in a while, and every once in a while it's worth trying. So we'll make a couple of them, and then we're gonna make some more sweet dough, which we need, well, we've got 3, we'll have enough of that, so we need sugar. So we could just make a couple and then see where we're at. Make 3 of those, and then we're back to semolina. Which we'll need some more ingredients for because we're going to use them on the, it's fine. All right, let's see what we've got here. All right, sweet dough. Sweet dough seems to be doing pretty good on bite rate. Another point in bottom fishing. This is going to be a decent one, right? No. Oh, we're out of ground bait. Which means we might be out of ground bait on the middle one too, which we'll still get a bite without it, but let's go ahead and put some on. All right. All right, so first is oatmeal. I think we're just doing 2 of these, right? Oh, I hope we get point on at least one of them. All right, so that was kind of a waste. That's okay. We wanted the bait. Then we switched to sweet dough. If we don't get a point on the first one, then we might as well just, well, it was unsuccessful. Let's not do this. We can come back and make it when we need the bait and not try to depend on it for points. Too much of a chance we're not going to get it. Let's just focus on semolina. That's probably going to be slow enough percent up. Now that we don't have the free happy hours that they were doing over the New Year's fair time, we are gonna be hurting a little bit on this free-to-play setup, waiting on the points to come in. Pretty decent gibble. We are getting very close to level 14, by the way. We've had some small gibbles, but I'm not sure that we've had, what did we need, 3 of them? Oh, we do. That's great. That is great. Oh, we've even got this one. Let's just go ahead and claim it. It's going to be worth it. We could have waited, but it's fine. It's a big crucian. That's great. 1.2 kilos. Let's see how much that's worth as I'm like deciding to go fish for rough. Just need to remember we could potentially catch those on and off all night here. And that one's 583. That one will be worth a lot less, I think. Let's see about the 1.2 though. I'm just curious. We're so close to 14. All right, 1.2, yeah, 3.5 silver. So really about the same as a good rough. It does add up though. Definitely adds up. All right, while we're sitting here, let me see if I can find the coordinates of that last rough spot pretty easily. Yes, 93.64. It's just so, it's so awkward. It's just like way over here. It's almost worth getting in the boat. For Mosquito, it is a pretty long ways away. But 93.64. And we can do it on worm or red worm. I think we just go ahead and go do it. Because with the fact that we're going to get the, unless it's, you know, the spot's dried up, we're going to both get the value of the bigger rough, plus in all likelihood get the cafe order. So it's like 15 just for the cafe order. I think that pushes me over the edge in wanting to do it. The downside is, like, it might have been fun to see if we got a trophy here overnight, but it's okay. Actually, let's go ahead and set this up. So we want to go, we'll do worm on this one. I think the post was showing red worms, but really I am certain that we will catch them almost just as well on worm. So, oh, look at that big roach. That's awesome. All right, so the middle one, just for your sake, we are going to be the middle one. We're going to have red worm on, and we are doing a 10 clip here at this spot. So we'll set this one up once we get out there. Let's go ahead and get this one ready. 10 clip, we're ready to go. All right, 93.64, and I'm actually going to run this way this time. So we'll hit level 14 on the first decent fish we catch, probably. Which means we're 2 levels away from at least being able to go to quarry. But I blame it on the New Year's fair. I mean, this is probably the deepest into a leveling series that I've ever gotten, where we haven't yet been to Belaya or Old Bird. right here. I don't remember how many episodes ago it was. I think it was just 2 episodes ago. And we didn't stay here long. We just confirmed that the ruffe were very active. So I think we're out of really small hooks. So we'll just do... We got to really pay attention in terms of the... Sometimes these ruffe with these very basic Sorrentos, it's hard to tell when they're actually on the line. It's been an unlucky run on trying to level up bait harvesting. This seems weird, doesn't it? How long ago was this? 5 days ago. A lot can change in 5 days. It's 11:55. Let's just give it a little bit past midnight. If we don't have a single fish, we're gonna move on. Man, we're just getting these nibbles, but not actually getting the fish. Yeah, I'm getting the feeling this spot has changed pretty dramatically. We're coming to winding once it's morning, so we don't need to get feed yet. We can. I'm actually going to try the rough setups in our spot over here. We normally do 7. I'm going to go 8, and I am going to like angle it a little bit further right than normal. I want to say that we've caught rough over here, though. And then I know I've also... take the clip off. We have also caught it just right out there. It's a long way to go, but it is possible. We need one more 24 or 22 hook. I really thought I had 22 hooks. Maybe I'm remembering wrong, or maybe we had something. Did we have something break off one episode? Even if it's cheap, I mean, we just need for like this kind of stuff. Guess I'll just get another 24. That's fine. All right, so this was the size 20 hook. Let's see what fish this is, though. Yeah, this is not the droids we're after, unless we're just going to switch back to this, which is fine, but kind of wanted to try. This. I mean, these small rough are normally just pretty available, but nothing on redworm, which makes me think that might not be a rough coming in. All right, this probably is. It's either a rough or a white bream. It looks like a rough. Look how far this is, though. This is not the life right here. It is the fish, but it's not the... probably not the right way to go about it. All right. Let's try... just like a 12 clip right here. Probably didn't even go 12, did it? I don't know if this fish is really on. Yeah, it is. All right, so let's go. Yeah, this, there's level 14. But this is just so many. Crucian gibbles, nothing else can get on there. All right, so close by, is it a rough? It is, which means we don't have to go near as far. Most likely. In fact, this is not a rough. Pulling something out of the deeps here. Looks like a crucian. Okay. Hoping it's another rough. Oh man, and hoping I didn't like forget to look at the time on the order. 1, 2, 3. I think it was at least 5. By the way, for our purposes, all right, there's 4, right? This might be 5. I'm going to assume it is. So that should be 15 quicksilver. Very nice. Not perfect, because we didn't stay with it longer. We often, with rough, you can just sell the non-markers or just trade in the non-markers in that situation, but it's pretty good considering that first spot just didn't work at all. Okay. We could get a couple more decent ones, and then we'll go try to catch a few bleak at winding. That'd be really cool if you could, and you could get that order. I just didn't know like how risky it would be. If you stayed here all night, especially using the boilies, but even just with natural baits here or over there next to the bridge, maybe especially if you gave it 2 nights, pretty sure you could get there. And that's 50 silver, just about. Very, very nice. All these are good though. I mean, these totally add up. Nice bite rate. All right, so we are going to be using, actually might try a 20 to start off with. Caster, maybe try bloodworm too. And we're gonna throw the feeders in while we're focusing on the float. It's 442. I think we just, next fish we call it here. Go ahead and go get set up at, we're going to 68.93. Cool little spot that I don't think I've ever fished at before. Nice one. All right. I don't think we should wait around on the last rod. Okay, so we did couple cafe orders and 42 silver more. I really like it. That's a good. Let's see, we're starting to make silver finally. We can now actually afford, if we chose to go in that direction, we could afford a starter feeder kit now. Start getting set up for bream if we wanted to. Okay, let's go ahead and get things in the water here and kind of test this out since it's 5 a.m. So the spot is right over here. And I think I want to just like assume, I almost don't want to use that stuff. Okay, let's try 18. We're just going to try a little 8 clip here maybe. Which one was that? Yeah, 2, good, okay. And then maybe the other 20 with pearl barley maybe? We'll keep the ground bait on just for fun. Now I have no idea. I mean, obviously we're getting a bite and that's great, but I mean, I had no reason to think that the feeders were going to necessarily work here, but we can hope they do. Okay, I think that's probably a little too far. I think we want it a little closer. We almost want it close to the bridge. It kind of looks to me like I'm afraid of getting snagged right now. Where is it? Oh, it's right there. If there was a fish nibbling, you'd probably be able to see it this close fishing at the surface. All right, let's see if right here we can get it out without getting snagged. We should be able to, yeah. All right, I think we want to... That like bounced off the bridge. All right, we unlocked classic hair rig now. Well, it's interesting that feeders seem to be working really well. Oh, we have a fish on. Well, that was fortunate. It's a nice bleak, by the way. Ah, way too hard. That's all right. Oh, we're already getting a bite. So yeah, it's working pretty good right here. Even casting it a little further out seems to be getting good nibbles. Just kind of step out onto the bridge. If we don't get a bite by the time it gets to distance here, we'll pull it back. Nice. Little roach. Just plop it right down in front of us. This is good. Yeah, I kind of just want to switch back and forth between bloodworm and casters, maybe. Small sample size, but maybe it does better a little farther out. That really isn't a little farther out. Ooh. What is this on? Pearl barley? Big roach. That is awesome. Alright, I think it's getting a bite. Yeah, this is where, especially till we really figure it out, we might be better off just float fishing. So maybe it wasn't a bite. Maybe it was just when this reached its end. Alright, we've not seen anything on bloodworm yet. Let's go back to caster and let's cast it a little farther away from us. Is that a nibble? No, I don't think so. All right, so now the question is, I mean, you know, you can tell they're here, at least kind of here. We had one or two come in right at the beginning. This seems to be a strong roach spot. And a bream. So the question is with bleak, though, you know, how does that spot compare to just casting it up here? Is it just not a bleak kind of day, or what's going on here? It's a dace. I had a feeling. Let's just go a little deeper here. And we'll end up a little closer to shore. Oh, we've got 20 hook. And that makes me think we need to try both spots again. I didn't realize we were doing this 20 hook. This is like a little outside of bleak's normal range. This is what you might use if you're just trying to only hit the big ones, especially if you've got like sandwich bait, or maybe you've got flies and the bite rate's just so good. That's going to be a roach. That's a hook problem. All right, let's try this spot first, and let's go run and try the other spot again real quick, because I have a feeling it's going to do much better on smaller hook. Might be smaller bleak on average, but it should be a better bite rate. But let's see. I still just don't know, like, if you're really just going for bleak, why not just go to the pond where you don't worry about current and you just catch bleak after bleak? I don't want the roach. Hopefully you could tell that was a roach. What size line do we have on 3.1? I also wonder if smaller line would be better. All right, let's try something here. We can't use leader yet, right? Yeah. going to go try the pond. Let's just see if we can hit bleak sort of intensely for a minute here. We're going to go 3 rods. I wish we had flies. We don't. Now, I haven't gone to like Belaya or Old Berg yet to check. It really could be worth doing that, especially if you were going to fish there for one session anyway. Just check while you're there. All right, 9112 is a little closer this way than what I'm used to doing, but it's probably technically still the same spot that I'm used to fishing at. It's going to be right here. So I usually go just a little farther north of here, just a few steps to the right, but I'm sure sometimes this probably works just as well, if not better. All right, so can I do this without missing just a ton of fish? Nope. All right, notice how far you cast it out. I mean, this is where you can just really get into a rhythm. We're going about 70% out. Oops. Let's just try pearl barley. If anything doesn't work, we'll switch it out with something that does. All right, there's all 3. So far, caster seems to be the best, but let's give it a minute. Oh, another nice one, by the way. All right, we're getting further and further out. We don't have to cast it that far. Oh, man. Both lines getting a nibble at the exact same time. 46, another nice one. Is this also a bleak? No, I think pearl barley caught the roach. Let's give it one more chance before we decide anything. But I mean, this is, as you can tell already, I mean, this is fishing right here. And if for some reason it just feels a little too intense, take one of the floats off and put a feeder in, and that slows it down. By the way, I don't know if you kind of noticed that. That's 2 roach in a row. Do we care? Do we want to try to get bleak on all 3? I don't know if you noticed that, but once you have it hooked, so we got it hooked on that 3rd rod, and then we set it back down because we needed to check the 1st rod. And once you have it hooked, you are less likely to lose the fish. But you do have to like get that initial bite. Hey, there's a bleak on pearl barley, so it did work. We'll keep it a little longer. I would say bloodworm, if you count the roach on the pearl barley, bloodworm's kind of the slowest, but clearing away the best so far on size and frequency seem to be the caster, but still early days. We'll see how it goes. Uh-oh. I could tell that middle one was getting a bite. We made it though. Oof. All right, we don't have time to put this one back in. We just got to go for it. There we go. Oh, same thing. I actually should have set that one down, but it worked out. There's a nice bleak. 100-gram bleak on pearl barley. Love to see it. We're back down to casting at about 50% cast. Seems to be working really well. But this is a good exercise to see if you enjoy sort of high volume float fishing like this. If you do enjoy it, there's some worthwhile float fishing at higher levels that will sort of be like this, where you can make even more silver, especially if you can get fishing with multiple float setups down. That's a weird nibble. That might be a non-bleak. Or it's so small it can't take the weight down all the way. I don't really know. No, there it is. Yeah, it's just not a bleak. 29.5 on float fishing now. I wonder how intense this would be if we had casters on all three. But I'm kind of enjoying seeing all of a sudden pearl barley is doing pretty well. It's kind of cool seeing how the different baits are performing. One thing that's different, especially in a spot like this, if we had flies, we would also occasionally catch a frog. That was an 81 gram bleak. Oh, I didn't know it had gone down all the way. Oh, we got it. Probably not a bleak. We'll see how the silver looks per bleak and stuff. But if there's cafe orders, especially at Winding, this is to me what I've always thought is at least one of the things, if you were really just trying to figure out what's the fastest way at a very low level to try to farm XP and silver. What time is it? Noon? Yeah, we want to watch if it slows down too much during the afternoon. If the spot is solid, it normally will not slow down too much, but what in the world? Fishing with a bolo is available. Oh, the things we could do with a bolo rod. Another 90 gram bleak. I couldn't tell. I could tell it was small, whatever it was. It was like barely pulling on it. That's a bleak, I bet. Sometimes they do that initial like fake first bite. Thankfully they don't do it that often, so you can kind of just ignore it because it doesn't really mess you up too many times, but every once in a while you'll be like, oh, that was a fake pull. How are we doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not bad. Probably make, I don't know. Let's wait and see. Let's trying to average out per bleak marker how much silver we'd make, but I'm not sure actually. It's just so different. I mean, to try to do this on the river with the current with 3 rods, though not impossible, is so intense it almost just takes the fun right out of it. For me at least. Come on. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out, like, is it actually a better bite rate further out? Or closer in, or is it about the same? Pearl barley with the biggest one. Bloodworm, second biggest. Bloodworm, third biggest. Surprises me, but it looks like Castor's actually, in some ways, doing the worst on size. 48 gram. It feels like it's catching the most fish, but I'm not even sure about that. It's a nice one. Nope, it's not a nice one. Sometimes I just totally misjudge the size. Especially if you took the roach away. I think pearl barley, though still doing fine, is probably the slowest. Totally missed that bite, I guess. My hope is to get just a bunch of seed. Even if we don't make the ground bait this episode, which it's looking like we probably won't, I still want to go ahead and purchase it so that next time, you know, we might like run to Mosquito because there's some spot I want to try. I don't want to forget and not have the feed with us. Well, I've just missed 2 bites in a row, although I do wonder if those were bleak or something more nibbly. $30.3. Oh, seriously. This is the slowest part of the day right here. Wait, did the first one go under 2? Oh, yeah. Cool. All of a sudden we're into the sleeper time of the day or something. I don't know. I think when we moved them farther out, we got more into like sleeper roach territory. It looks like maybe closer was actually the way to go there. Did we ever try this spot again to see how it was doing with the right size hook on. I don't think I did, so did we? I can't remember. Let's try it again really quick just to give it its fair shot with a 24 hook and caster, I guess. Especially since we're on the river. You have that chance of dace. Might as well use caster. Ooh, we got a point. That's awesome. All right, we're at the right depth and we've got the right hook on. Yeah, let's just try it for a minute here. See if anything nibbles. Try closer in first. Try not to get snagged. Oh, that's getting a bite. There we go. Yeah, immediately catch a decent bleak. That's awesome. All right, so we'll start it there this time. A little farther down, see if it happens quicker. Yeah, a little sleeper. I don't love it being that close to the those weeds. Just don't want to accidentally snag, but if you're careful, you can do it. So with 24 hook, even though it's, you know, slow time of day, we're still getting pretty good activity in this spot. It's going, I think. Yeah, once again. Once again. And what if we do put it out a little further? That's a lot further. I'm not sure that it matters. That's a nice bleak as well. Kind of looks like this whole spot is working. So if you want to fish with a couple of feeders, not that this spot is better necessarily. What is that? A little gibble? That is one tiny gibble. Not that this spot is better than the pond, but another option. I still say if you want to fish with multiple floats though, the pond is the place to be when it's active like this. It is cool that we could see that fish. We could identify it before we even pulled it out of the water. There it goes. Yeah, it's a bleak. Bleak after bleak after bleak. It's looking mighty bleak at winding. All right. So let's check. 57 more silver. My goodness. That is quicksilver. Quicksilver. That is quicksilver. All right, 4.75. Yeah, look at this. 100 gram bleak, almost 6 silver. 4.75 plus 57.4. Something like 62 silver, I think. Up to 231. Let's grab us some let's grab us some this feed. I know we'll need 50, so I'm just going to get 50. All right, so next time we've got some feed to make. And that'll be fun. Eventually we'll be able to do something with eggs too. All right, very cool. This was such a productive episode to just like focus on some good spots, some cafe orders. I really don't know what is next for the series. I still haven't fully decided if we're doing, you know, Belaya, Oldberg, combination of both. Maybe just keep fishing where we are. I don't know. We'll see. But impressed with how this fishing session went. Hopefully we can have some more like this. And before we know it, we'll have bream setups and a spinning setup if we want it. Okay, as always, thanks for watching Tight Lines, everybody. I'll see you next time.